I want to start off this episode with the question. What's one of the biggest problems of the Toyota Hilux?
Hey, it's too expensive, it's too ugly,
Okay.
it's got few features, few
Okay,
features.
fine. Good points, but that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the fact that Hiluxes are everywhere. Everybody and their dog has one. But if you're like me and you're looking for something different, I think I may have the solution for you. Right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GWM P Series, and we'll start off with the front. What do you think?
Well, it looks very big, imposing. I like the way it looks. It makes the car look butch. It looks tough. It looks very, you feel the presence.
Yeah, it definitely goes to the gym. I don't doubt it.
The grill of this car just really says it's here. It's here. In fact, it says it's here so much that they decided to make the front badge the Google location pin.
Okay.
That's enough. All right, you were saying?
Okay, speaking of the grill, it is quite massive, but I think it's a good thing because it's super imposing.
Super
And
imposing, right?
the logo to match, I think it's appropriate given the size of the truck.
But I'm sure a lot of people will find this grill a bit, it will split opinions, let's
For
just
sure.
say. But moving on from the grill, you've got the lights with the LED inside. What do you think?
I like it. So these are full-time daytime LEDs with daytime running lights. So they look really premium. I mean, you can park this in front of an expensive hotel and you restaurant.
Or next to a Hilux and still
And
you'd be winning.
Exactly.
So anyways, let's move on to the side.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The side isn't much going for it. It's a truck after all, but I think it's not offensive at all. It just looks what it's supposed to look like, and it looks good.
It's fairly wide and tall.
Yeah, even the wheels. I think it's the right size wheel for this sort of truck. Not too big, not too small. You've got decent amount of sidewall, so right quality.
I beg to differ a little bit because the truck looks so big.
Yeah.
The wheels have that sort of, like a guy that goes to the gym but doesn't really work on his legs that much. You end up having that body type, and you get that vibe, similar vibes from the side of this truck.
Okay.
But anyways, that's my opinion.
Okay. And you also got your privacy glass here, so you don't see the extra activities going on in the back seats. There's nothing much going on in the back seat, but yeah, if you want to cover that, you can do that. Then you've got your step here if you want to jump in. Yeah, if you're a short person like Brian, then you won't struggle getting in. That's for you, by the way.
So we
That's
call
like
this the Brian step?
Yeah, this is the Brian step.
Okay, all right, sure. Let's move on.
Then you've got the roll hoop here, which just adds on to the overall look.
The overall look, yeah. And it's funny, just to note, it's funny how they've designed it. It's a bit weird. It's the first time I've seen someone do this.
That's the first sort of like thing I've seen. It usually just goes like straight up like this or something, not like curving like.
That's just something to note, but yeah, it still works. For the look of this truck, it works.
It does.
Yeah, and then, now in the back,
I really like the lights. These are LEDs as well. So you've got the lights inside, then you've got like this casing on the outside. There's like almost like a 3D look, but I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think it helps the image of this car makes it look a bit more premium than it actually is, as you find out from the price. It actually helps this car look a bit more special than what it actually costs. And then finally, in the back, the tailgate, you've got the whole...
You've got a backup camera here to help you out. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more later on. But yeah, generally that's the exterior of the GWM, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic.
Sure.
If you think this thing looks impressive on the outside, just wait until we get on the inside. So we are now inside the GWM P Series, and I have to say this car is immensely impressive when it comes to the interior. We're not just talking about the ergonomics of things, how everything is just where it's supposed to be. We're talking about how packed it is with all the gadgets and gizmos. These are all the bells and whistles that you could ask for in a pickup truck. I mean, for starters, you got radar guided cruise control, you got lane departure warning, you got lane keep assist. So what that does is when you're driving in the road, it actually keeps the car in your lane, and if you're about to leave that lane, it gives you a little tug on the steering wheel just to keep you in the lane. But it can get a little bit disorienting because it's sort of like semi-autonomous, so it feels like it's kind of like trying to drive itself, so sometimes it feels like it's arguing with you. But nonetheless, it's a feature that you can actually appreciate, especially for a car in its price range. I mean, we got all the bells and whistles here. We got heated seats, and just look at the gear shifter. Just look at this. This is impressive. I mean, to get an idea of how impressive this is, all you need to do is get into the interior of a Toyota Hilux, and you will realize you've got that whole kind of like thing. And I'm like wondering why this day and age. I mean, everything about this is impressive. You got your infotainment system, and it's got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You got your... Okay, you don't have dual zone climate control, so you'll probably be fighting with your partner as to what temperatures to keep in the car. But otherwise, everything is really impressive about this car. I mean, you got so much space in this thing. You got your space over here. You got your wireless charger. You got your USBs. You got your drive modes. It's got the normal, the eco, and then you got the, I think that's Sport. Yes, that's Sport. It actually tells you that on the full digital display on the dash. This is an impressive vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, GWM really went to town with this car. I was really impressed by almost everything. And I say almost everything because, yeah, it's got its quirks. Like every time, sometimes when you start it up, it's got this thing whereby it boots up and you have to wait for it to boot up its system, and that's kind of annoying, but it's one of those things that you can just forgive about the car, given the price range and the warranty that it offers. Also, another thing that I noticed about this car that kind of like gets me a bit iffy, I noticed it in the Jolion as well. For some reason, it doesn't pick up when you got passengers in the back seat. It only picks up passengers in the front. So when it comes to like put on your seat belts and stuff, it's only going to tell you if you have passengers in the front. If you have passengers in the back, it doesn't care whether you put seat belts on them or not. And then they also did another clever thing, whereby when you want to connect your dash cam, it's got that little USB connection over here, so that you don't have an issue with your cables and things just dangling precariously in your windshield. They have that in the Jolion as well, if you remember. This is a very impressive pickup truck, especially for its price range. I'm really impressed by GWM.
Yeah.
What the? You were there the whole time?
Well, yeah, I do actually agree with you. It's very impressive. Well, in the back, I'm not a very tall person, but I've got enough leg room, enough headroom. It's quite spacious. I mean, to further drive the point home that this is not your father's Hilux, it buries the Hilux when it comes to the back seat, and pretty much every other vehicle in the segment. Because you've got so much space, you've got quilted leather on the door pockets.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you've got this, I don't know what this is, if it's actually wood or it's just imitating wood. But
and the piano finish.
In the front, yeah. But you've also got this aluminum finish on the door latch, door pull. You've got, it just feels more car-like. Feels more executive than anything in the truck segment.
Yeah.
To further explore the back, you've got, I mean, an armrest, which should be standard in most vehicles. You've got like under seat storage.
Yeah, because the back seats are actually floating seats. So
exactly.
There's a lot of storage underneath.
So this is so much car when you compare it to anything that's costing like 1.5 times more.
I mean, to give you an idea of how reasonably priced this car is, this is the top spec P Series, the LT 4x4, and it's going around the same price as mid-spec Toyota Hilux.
Exactly.
And you're getting so much more bang for buck.
I mean, lastly, the one last thing I need to mention is you've got power output sockets here.
You can plug a fridge in here, a small fridge.
A very small fridge.
120 volts.
120 volts, or even like very light power tools.
Yes.
You've got, I mean, another USB port, so even your kids can have something to play with in the back.
Oh yeah, and then there's the other thing that I forgot to talk about.
What's that?
The 360-degree camera angle when you put this car in reverse.
Oh yeah.
It's, I mean, wow.
It's impressive, right?
It's impressive. I mean, it even picks up that your wheels are not straight and everything, like in the animation of the car.
I mean, that's proper S-Class technology right there.
In a GWM.
Bakkie.
Yeah.
So I think with that, that's a wrap for the interior.
So this week I'm the boot guy and I'm proud. I'm happy. Why? Because I got a bed. It's not a boot, but it's a bed. And there's a lot going on here that you might expect. Firstly, move down here, you've got the spare wheel. This is where you normally find them in trucks. And then just above here, you see these little holes here. These are the sensors. So when you're backing up, you need those so that you can see where you're going. This is also used in conjunction with the camera here to help you see where you're going, because after all, this is a big truck, you need that. So when I put this down here, one of my favorite features here, these are actually damped. This tailgate is actually damped. So when you pull it down, it doesn't just plop down. It actually has a little bit of, feels nice. I can do this all day. Okay, moving on. Another feature that I love, if you just push here, you got a step here. So you can jump in a bit more gracefully than you normally would in other trucks, and yeah, can hold your weight fairly well. Jumping inside, you've got 4 tie-down hooks here, so you can actually secure whatever it is you're transporting fairly well and securely. Dimensions of this truck, you've got 1.52 meters long by 1.52 meters wide, and the depth is 514 millimeters, and you can actually carry 1,050 kgs of weight here, so it's quite a workhorse. And as you can see with the tow hitch down there, you can actually tow 3,000 kgs. That's 3 tons. So yeah, there's a lot going for it, yeah. But to be honest, I really want to see how this truck drives, so let's find out. Kudzi.
I'm putting this in. I am putting this in now. Definitely.
So this is the GWM P Series. Impressions?
I honestly have to say that I started off thinking this is just going to be enough, just enough to pass the bakkie standard, but it's done so well. I'm impressed.
I'm also impressed, man. I mean, even the way it drives, it's so smooth. I mean, of course, yeah, some of the rough patches of the road, you feel it a bit because the dampening is a bit It's not as soft.
It crashes a bit when you.
Yeah. But it's not a train smash because it feels like it was designed to like really hold the road in a highway, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't hold its own when it comes to off-roading. It's an extremely capable car.
I guess it's a good time to talk about the engine.
Yeah.
And it feels adequate. It's powerful enough, and the torque is it's readily available. So you never feel like you have to wait too much for the performance.
There is a little bit of a turbo lag, but
well, I mean,
it's
what doesn't have turbo lag in this segment? I mean, everything uses turbos, and everything is, unless you want to talk about electric, but we don't have that in this segment. So pretty much everything uses turbos, and this is not. You can't really complain about this system. And the gearbox. Do you have anything to say about that?
Oh, now you want to ask me. All this time you just been just talking with Brian like I'm not here. Really?
It's okay. Now is your moment. Tell us something.
Wow.
Something useful.
Okay. I have to agree with you guys actually. Quite impressive. I mean, I was doing my research prior to this, and everyone kept raving about it, and I was like, it can't be that good, guys. I mean, come on, is the Chinese paying you? What's going on? So I was like, you know what, let me find it for myself. And you know what, I have to agree with everyone. It's impressive. Like it does a lot, especially for the price. That, you know, if you're getting something similarly priced from other competitors like the Hilux, you're not getting all of these specs. Like, it's just a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And
that is true. I have to say, I'm also impressed with. It feels like the NVH is well contained. You cannot hear the engine from the inside. You cannot really hear the tire roar. It's all very civilized. It's the most car-like interior space to be in. So with that, I think maybe Brian, you can give us.
The only question now is how durable is it in terms of longevity, because it's still new on the market. And cars like brands like Navara, Toyota, Hilux, they've established their names in this segment in terms of durability. So far, the only question I have is the durability of this car, as in how long will it last before it starts giving you problems, and will it be as reliable as the other cars in its segment? And we can only know this a few years from now. But right now, as is, it's definitely a car that somebody should consider if you're looking for a car in this market or in this segment.
So, and to add on to that, if you're looking for something that's different, because starting off this episode, I asked the question, like, what if you want something that is capable but is not a Hilux?
So what you're saying, to round this up, is you would get this over Hilux?
Yes.
I'll definitely consider it.
And the advantage of it is that I'm buying this car new at Zimoco, so I know I'm going to be covered. I've got warranty on my side, service on my side. I mean, what more do you want?
I'll definitely consider it, man. I mean, radar controlled cruise control, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, heated seats, a nifty gear lever.
Tell them.
I mean, come on, man.
They must know.
Come on, man. Come on.
All right.
And on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. A huge thank you to Zimoco for supplying this P Series for us. I mean, we've had a lot of fun today with this truck. And so we'd like to say thank you for that. And thank you guys for watching. Catch more Z-CarCulture content on our YouTube channel, as well as our website and our social media. And be sure to look out for future content in the coming months and weeks and days and hours.
Today, Mr. Boot Guy is extremely happy.
Yeah, of course. You know why.
He had so much space to play with. I mean, he's in the back and he's got enough leg room.
A lot of leg room. Yeah.
Yo, guys, as usual, if you got cars that you want us to review, please feel free to contact us. Our contact details are in the link. What's it called? Link description.
Link in the
I see what this car is doing to you. Yeah, like you're getting too relaxed.
Yeah,
it's okay.
The link is in the description below.
Yeah.
Done.
Be out.
All right, good.